just get stuff done, that's a fact. Unapologetic on the attack. Now
Hey bitches, it is Heather Ryan coming to you from Des Moines, Iowa,
and Blythe Potter in Bargersville, Indiana.
with a really terrible episode because so much terrible stuff's going on right now. I was not entirely eager to record today because there's so much it's hard to keep track of. Holy crap.
It's insane. I I have no words other than like worn out. Like I legit feel exhausted mentally and emotionally because it is a fucking roller coaster. And I keep trying to tell myself, do not comply. They're doing this to scare us.
Yeah.
But also they are like literally stealing people off the street. So
Yeah.
I'm someone has to do something.
We just
Quickly.
recorded 3 days ago and it feels like we just are in an ever-changing world. Like,
Yeah, every day is like its own week, at least.
oh my God, yes. Every 24 hours seems like 7 days.
It does. It truly does. It's horrible. It's so horrible.
Just Mommy, please, can you put the feet
So
on?
let's lead off with Obrego Garcia. He is the Maryland dad who was taken from his family. And I think his child was actually in the car while he was arrested. And
Yeah.
he had to call family to come pick up his autistic child when they arrested him. So the government already knows that he is not guilty of anything. He was here legally, but they didn't care. It was not an administrative error, no matter what they say. They did it intentionally. They're just picking up people, even though they know that they're not illegal or whatever they want to call it, undocumented immigrants, and just deporting them to this. This is the part that disturbs me the most. They're not just deporting them; they're deporting them to concentration camps. You
Yes.
see the photos of these?
Slavery. This is slavery. Slavery.
My God, these places, it is a modern day dockhouse. It really is. When I saw the photos yesterday, I was like, I knew it was bad, but these are pictures of people who are in concentration camps. And somebody pointed out on one of the blogs, billions of blogs that I read, that Auschwitz was not in Germany. And I just hadn't put that together in my head. I'm like, oh my God, this is our modern day Auschwitz.
Yeah.
And this is just one. He wants El Salvador to build at least 5 more so that he can start deporting American citizens.
Yep.
When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, okay, we should probably do another podcast. But then you get paralyzed with all the awful, because that's just the beginning of, that's just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
The fact that
it's horrific. It's terrible. Like the only thing I can really compare it to is, do you remember did you enlist before 9/11?
Oh yeah, way before 9/11.
Okay.
Yeah. I was the first in the Gulf War.
Well, I enlisted in 2002. And I remember very vividly, like the thing I was most afraid of was being captured and decapitated, because that's what they were doing at the time on television, right?
I remember that.
And I understand this is a completely different scenario, but it was still like that looming fear. It could happen.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of feel like that here. But now it's like it could happen because I'm in America fighting for like rights that we've had for well, I thought for a long time.
Right. Those were the extremists back then, and that's why they were decapitating people, because they were the extremists. Now you're fighting against the extremists again.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed in this scenario, just the location.
Yeah. But the reach, and it's in broad daylight. They're openly defying federal courts and the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
And what are they going to do? What's the Supreme Court going to do?
I don't. Someone needs to arrest a lot of them. I don't understand how this is even. First of all, so many people are complicit with this. I mean, if this were a lawsuit, we'd be suing the entire GOP and most of the federal government, that really should be a conversation we are having, because this is emotional trauma. It is financial trauma. It is, in some cases, physical trauma. Like they're stripping us.
Yes. And they're stripping every entity in the government. So they've done away basically with the IRS. They've done away with Social Security Department. So it's crashing right in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
They've taken away everything that structurally keeps these things together. including all the organizations that they said they wanted to strip. They've done it. It's done. Social Security will start crashing here in any minute. I think people are starting to miss their payments now because there's no way to contact Social Security Department. IRS, they're doing away with another 30,000 staff members on the IRS. And why? I guess it's just because we want to become Russia. I'm guessing that's the whole point.
It is his revenge tour, right? He's so mad at Biden. Like, dude.
I don't know if I believe that. I think he wants to be a dictator, and that has nothing to do with Biden.
I think he does want to be a dictator, but he's like, a lot of this feels like more revenge than anything. Well, revenge on everyone.
But even if the court held people in contempt, what is he going to do? He's just going to preemptively pardon them all. I mean, they would need to be able to facilitate a scenario where a lot of them are in the room together and they have enough people to physically lock them up. I don't know if that's as soon as they physically lock them up, not only will he pardon them, he'll lock up the people who locked them up.
No, he needs to be the one in El Salvador prisons.
I completely agree, but I just don't see that.
I don't either.
You had
something's got to happen, though.
Senator Grassley was having another town hall yesterday, and people were doing the same thing they did when I went to the town hall. Hey, do your job. Why aren't you standing up? And he was just like, I can't do nothing. I done my job. And that's consistent with all. Yeah. He is the longest serving senator in office right now, and he's doing nothing. He's complicit. He's leading by example. So I just don't see anybody doing anything.
You know who is doing something? Supposedly right now, the senator from Maryland is on his way to El Salvador.
I did see that.
And I'm like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
And who's doing something is Bernie and AOC. Did you see their crowds? Oh my God. Like 40,000 people. Yes. Oh my God. And that leads me, okay, completely off topic, but that leads me to tell you about Lectern Guy. Right before we got on this to start recording, one of my friends in Omaha contacted me and said, Lectern Guy is coming to the Iowa State Capitol. I'm like, who the fuck is Lectern Guy? He's the guy during January 6th that took the lectern, Nancy Pelosi's lectern, and was, carrying it, and then was convicted of the riot. He's making a tour around the country to all the different capitals and meeting with all the politicians, having his picture made, and schlepping his stuff out of his trunk. Because he was pardoned by Trump, but I think he's having a hard time getting a job. So he's
shocking.
Poor as hell. So he's just schlepping stuff because he's broke. But he's going to all the capitals. So he went to Omaha. Now he's coming here. I think he's here right now. And then he's going up to Minnesota. And I think then over to Wisconsin, I believe. So just kind of going, cattywampus all over the country. So I hopefully will be able to catch him today at the Capitol. I don't know. I would love to troll him. It'd be amazing. But if I don't, it still gives me an idea, regardless of what the Lectern Guy does. I think Bitches Get Stuff Done needs to do a Capitol tour during the summer.
That would be awesome.
Right?
That would be so awesome.
Give actually take the lectern and give lectures about how you can fight back, how to stand up and fight back. I think people are fighting back as best they can, but they're doing it with outdated methods.
Yeah.
It'd be great if we could teach people how to be a bitch around the country.
That would be awesome.
We did have a training last night. We went into depth about the F and the I in the fight program. And then Friday we'll do GH&T, which of course you can sign up for on bitchesgetstuffdone.org. But it was great. It was great. It's the first time I've ever given it on a Zoom. And it was wonderful. I loved it so much. I'm so glad that we're delving more into the training aspect of being a bitch.
Yay. Were there more people on last night?
No. And I'm so grateful because
there were a lot of people on Monday.
Yeah, there were. So the Monday was an over broad, like, hey, here's what fight training is. Just the general synopsis, painting with a broad brush. But then Tuesday we go into the F and the I part, which is find your passion points and amplify your image. That's the I. And then on Friday we'll do the GH&T, get heard, hassle your politicians and teach others. So that's the GH&T. And yesterday, if we had that many people on for the in-depth part, we would have never gotten done in an hour. Like we barely got done, and we are actually a little over. But it was so wonderful. Oh my gosh, we had such a great time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I want to go
glad.
around this. I want to go around to all the different capitals and all the different states and teach people how to be a bitch. It was inspiring. I inspired myself. Okay, I'm a little embarrassed about that, but I
That's
did.
awesome. Yeah, that would be amazing.
So that was Lectern guy. I told you I'd tell you when we started recording. He's just a schmo, just a rifter schmo. But that. Oh, Tom Homan is the next thing on our list.
Oh gosh, that fucking douchebag. Why do all of them look like RFK, but just in different variations?
Tom Homan is Grody Melody.
They're all so like old and
yucky.
they just look angry and so mad.
Yeah. Tom Homan for sure. He looks like he's pissed all the time. Like he really needs a pocket pee. You know what I'm saying? Your kid's right there, so I'm not going to say the word, but you know what I mean. He looks really pent up, if you know what I mean.
Yes, he absolutely does. I do not know how to put that on, baby. We'll do it later. Yeah, so he's threatening the elected officials in blue states, which not terrifying at all.
Specifically blue states with sanctuary cities, right?
Oh, yes, you're right. Yep, the sanctuary cities.
Yeah, and I guess fortunately, Des Moines sucks so bad that we don't have a sanctuary city here, even though we've been asking for one forever.
We don't allow him.
Yeah. I think
the whole state, we're not allowed.
The state was trying to outlaw them here. I don't think that went through yet. But, you know, Kim Reynolds has a whole nother session still in office, so who knows?
Guess what we have on board as of yesterday?
In Indiana?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
I totally forgot about this. Let me see here. We have a new House resolution.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh. It's as terrible as you might think it is.
Oh, geez.
Oh, come on. Make this bigger.
It's worse than anything we got here?
It is House Resolution 53.
Oh, geez.
Recognizing the importance of repentance.
What?
Whereas the founding fathers of the United States, compelled by a unified desire for peace and the freedom to pursue righteous, sought a better way. Whereas these founding fathers, relying on biblical principles as the moral authority to guide their character, upheld standard for the common good of all. Whereas the founding fathers did not seek to establish a government based on human wisdom alone, but on the, quote, laws of nature and of nature's God, end quote. Acknowledging the liberty and justice for all must be rooted in truth if it is to be sustained. And whereas the people of this nation recognized their reliance on Almighty God, humbled themselves and contended for this nation on their knees, determined to become a city on a hill for all to see. I mean, it is just total garbage.
So exactly what is the repentance part? What do we need
I don't know. There is a little bit more to it than that. There are 3 additional sections. And Corinne Strait and I were messaging about this today. She's like the Indiana version of you. So she dissects, she's very Indiana specific. But we're like, what is, because the House resolution it looks to be just a statement.
I don't know. The title says something different though.
It sounds like they're, to me, it sounds like they're trying to make the Bible the rule of law for the House of Representatives.
Yeah, just in the title it does. But then, of course, the language itself sounds benign. Everything you just read sounds benign. But then
it's weird. It says the Indiana House of Representatives acknowledges the need for divine providence, choosing humbly to submit its ways to the Lord Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
I'm Holy cow. I don't. So it's still in committee. I think yesterday was when it got submitted. Oh, it was read for the first time and referred to the Committee of Courts and Criminal Code. So obviously, that'll be one of our action items. Anyone here in Indiana listening, we really need to make sure that we are calling the committee chair. Her name is Representative Wendy McNamara.
Wendy with an I or an E?
Wendy. And her number is 317-234-9328 or h76@iga.in.gov to email her. And that is on madvoters.com as well for you Hoosiers.
So that was Wendy McNamara?
McNamara, MC, capital N, AMARA. And Corinne, of course, went deeper in a deeper dive than this in the last 12 hours. She said she hasn't seen anything similar in other states. I want to go through at some point the Indiana Constitution and see, like, does it mimic the United States Constitution, separation of church and state, or like, does it completely blow that off?
It will.
So,
and it wouldn't matter if it did or not, because the federal Constitution always trumps the state Constitution.
That's true.
So, but it will. I guarantee you that there's a separation of church and state. Not all of these states have been banana cuckoo puffs when they first made their constitutions. Now they're just trying to completely change them.
Yeah, well, that's what's weird. Like, this isn't, I don't know if they're trying to gear this toward changing the Constitution, because I don't know.
Constitutional amendment. It just sounds like a resolution, which is weird.
It's just a resolution. And I don't actually know that it means anything, but it feels like a slippery slope.
Surely they must know. They're coming to the end of their session. Surely they must know it won't pass. So
well,
they're just on the radar for now.
Yeah, I think they're doing it to appease someone. There might be verbiage about this in Project 2025. But I also, Corinne thinks they're also doing it for media attention, which wouldn't surprise me.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
But I also think it means we need to show them that we're still paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. It's fucked up.
Oh my God, dude, I did not think you were going to say that. I really thought you were going to say something like, oh, they've decided that cats and dogs shouldn't live in the same house. That making Jesus Christ the law of the house is something I did not expect you to say.
No, but we did pass our Senate Bill 1, which like really, really hurts public education. Like,
is that the one with the voucher scam?
I'm pretty sure they've removed the cap on vouchers. We've had the vouchers since I think 2011 or 2013. But Senate Bill 1 saves us about $200 a year on property taxes, but takes more money from public schools for charter schools. So I'm pretty sure, that must be where the vouchers are, because that was one of the biggest concerns. But it's just it's a giant piece of garbage. They're trying to completely eliminate some school systems. It's just bad. It's so bad here. And I think that's part of why this week is extra bad, because we've been fighting pretty hard on Senate Bill 1 for months now.
Right.
Now, of course, the governor hasn't signed it. Which I don't think that means anything, because I'm pretty sure he made the executive order that mimicked SB 1.
I'm sure that he's waiting for a good opportunity to have press surrounding it.
Oh, he did that yesterday too. We have Miha, Make Indiana Healthy Again. RFK Jr. and Dr. Oz were here.
Oh, yay. Congratulations.
Part of Making Indiana Healthy doesn't increase our funding to public health, which we are the 45th out of 50 on public health spending. It doesn't help our maternal or infant mortality rates, which we have very high infant maternal mortality rates.
Yeah, we do too.
But it does take away the ability to buy soda and candy if you're on SNAP benefits.
Yep, they're trying to do that here too. It's almost like they're getting this from the same playbook. Isn't that weird?
It's so weird.
It seems like someone is writing this legislation and just sending it to all the psychopaths in each state.
Maybe there's people from Project 2025.
The Heritage Foundation? What?
Probably. I wonder if they have public information about all the people writing this so that we can harass them.
Jeez Louise, I wish I knew where each of those folks lived and how to get a hold of them. That might have to be a project of mine, 2025.
Yes.
Just saying.
Project bitch.
I love it. I'm like,
we're not going to put a date on it because this is just going to go on forever. We'll have the infinity sign. Oh, the infinity sign can be over the eye.
Or it should just have two polka dots right in the middle for boobies.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We digress.
That's so funny.
We are working on an anti-Project 2025 over here, though. Heather and I will be putting out the bullet points as to what we would actually like to happen that doesn't dismantle the government. We're going to have to try and delve out those responsibilities for research.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
So when they break the government, we can build it back. And I'm not going to say better because it's the dumbest slogan ever, but you know what I mean?
Well, but yeah, like, again, and I know we've said this before, there's always something that can be improved.
Always.
But this isn't the way you do it.
Right.
Yeah, this isn't a bulldozing situation.
Right. Take a sledgehammer to it all.
Yeah.
But That's that. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. We've got it way off topic. I'm so glad for you that you got measles in your state now. Thank you, RFK.
And Dr. Oz.
Oh my God. Dr. Oz drives me bananas. He is not a real doctor.
He's not a real doctor. It's insane.
Thank you, Oprah.
Apparently, one of our senators. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
How did Oprah bring us so many terrible people? Is all I'm saying.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it's got to be a lot like everyone else, where they have gotten. I would hope it's a situation where he's just gotten more extreme and ridiculous as he's gotten more famous. Like, money it can affect people like that, and people will do just about anything to keep their funds.
And Dr. Phil did the same thing, though. He's, down at the border pretending like he's a big ass. And did you know? Okay, completely off topic. I know this because I knew a producer on the show, and he said that Dr. Phil's writing all of these weight loss books at the same time he's wearing a girdle and he's got all this shit to make him look thin. And he had everybody on the staff sign an NDA so that they wouldn't tell everybody that he's actually like wearing a girdle and all these things to make him look thinner while he's writing weight loss books about your fat ass. So
that's insane.
Yeah, completely
not shocking. Not shocking at all.
Yeah.
So one of our U.S. senators, Todd Young, had an event yesterday that I didn't know about. It was with one of the chambers, I think, in Bloomington. Of course, he can't be bothered to host a town hall.
Of course. Yeah, but Marjorie Taylor Greene did. Did you see that one?
God. Yes, and someone got torn out.
Arrested. Yeah, 3 people got arrested. But the thing that Brandon pointed out to me that I did not think about is that all of the questions that she answered were pre-screened, right? So she had them up on the bulletin board, and automatically my brain goes to, oh, well, they pre-screened the softball questions. No, they did not. They pre-screened the stuff that says, why aren't you standing up? And she just took those questions to make fun of people.
Yeah.
The whole time she's answering like, it's too bad that you're such a snowflake or whatever, just making fun of people. So that was all intentional. It was all stagecraft. And I didn't even think about it that way until Brandon pointed out, oh, well, she did this intentionally. I was like, oh, son of a bitch, of course. Of course. It's all part of the persona. It's part of the reality TV persona that she's putting on, just to be constantly in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Making fun of people. It's gross.
Yeah. She's horrible.
It's the world we live in.
Yes, she is absolutely horrible. It's all horrible. But so I am one of the top complainers about our Democratic Party chair. So it turns out there's an email that I did not realize I had stopped getting called the Kernel of Truth. And it usually comes from our state chair. I haven't gotten one since August. Now, I don't remember unsubscribing to it. Who the fuck knows what happened? It's been a minute. Well, apparently they did actually talk about the last 2 town halls that were happening. Because one of the people with the party, he's like, hey, I saw your video. Like, we sent out a thing. Like, if you have a better way of sending things out. I was like, well, I did not see it. I got the NDTC Indiana event stuff, but I saw nothing about this. So I'm going to get back on that and I'll figure out how to do that. But they have another town hall coming up on May 2nd in Lafayette, Indiana at IBEW local. So I'll be posting about that. So they're listening.
Good.
It is good, but it's also like, oh, you saw that? Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, not my shit. I too have been in that awkward position.
I'm like, okay, this is what I want, right? I want them to listen. I want them to be sharing this. I may not be her biggest fan, but we have to win. We have to do this. Yeah.
It is more in your interest to make sure they're listening and paying attention and doing something. Taking action. Standing up, for Pete's sake. It's not your job to be her cheerleader. She's got enough of those, I'm sure.
I would love to be her cheerleader. I mean, maybe in 4 years, who knows? If I'm still in Indiana in 4 years, I'll be really shocked. I'll be really surprised.
Yeah, every day I really think we're just getting closer and closer to the feds knocking on my door and saying, come with us. I'm not kidding about that.
If anyone is listening, I will never voluntarily leave my family. I will never voluntarily go dark. I will never voluntarily leave the state. There is not a scenario where I would ever walk away from my child.
Yeah, that's the same for me. That's the only reason I'm still in Iowa is my kids are here, still going to school. If they weren't, I don't know that I'd be here. I don't know. But either way, I will never leave the situation. I will never unalive myself ever, ever, ever.
Same.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
There's not a chance in hell. One,
Yeah.
I'm too much of a pansy, and two, no.
No, I not just a pansy, but I just never think that there's anything so bad in life that I can't continue on. There's always a better day. And that's God. That's what I'm keeping hold of right now. And so with that vestule of hope, I think that we're done with our podcast for the day.
Yeah.
We're on a short timeline today.
We are. We're squeezing this in big time, but I'm glad we did. I actually feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's like podcast therapy.
Oh, I love it. We'll start calling this bitch therapy.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of is what it is. We just complain about shit.
Oh my God, 100%. Yes. And I swear to God, I'm going to start creating content about our podcast. You know, you can see when we post our podcast because they go, the numbers go up and down and up and down because you can see where we post about it or talk about it.
Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, I've been bad about I've not been in the headspace for it. So
yeah, I swear to God, I'm going to start doing that today. Anyways, the 19th is a big protest over House of Country, guys. If you're listening, please make sure you go and find out where yours is. We will have information on Bitches Get Stuff Done for the ones that we know, bitchesgetstuffdone.org for the ones that I'm aware of, and for the ones that I have time to post, honestly, because a lot of times I'm like, I'll get around to posting that, and then I never do. So I'm doing the best I can with what I got. Then Sunday is, for some people who celebrate it, Easter, but for our household, it's called Don't Be a Dick Day. So we don't celebrate Easter, but we celebrate one rule. That one day, don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
So happy, Don't Be a Dick Day to everybody, and make sure you go out and protest on Saturday. And go to our website at bitchesgetstuffdone.org and get on our email list if you're not already and share it. Share this, share the website, share everything.
Do all the things.
Do all the things. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.